In this episode of Popping Through Culture, you're dealing with doom. Bring on the bad guys, tick.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Popping Through Culture. I'm Chris.
And I'm Rico.
And this episode, we're talking about
Doom.
I am Doom. Doom is above all.
Yes, bring on the bad guys.
Bring on the bad guys.
I do want to start to clear this up because it's kind of confusing. I've been getting this question asked a lot for this week. Is this a continuation to bring on the bad guys of Doom? Is this a continuation to Doom Academy or One World Under Doom? Answer is no. It is a standalone, isolated story of Dr. Doom and this rogue squad of villains. And basically, it is a group of villains come together to take out a higher villain, or a more villainous villain,
Villainous?
or villainous. Wouldn't that be like a person with?
Wouldn't that be like Thunderbolts or something like that kind of scenario, or like,
It'd be like
Suicide Squad? Yeah, Suicide Squad.
Kinda, but these villains they're not I wouldn't call them A+ villains. They are kind of like Thunderbolts or Suicide Squad. They're villains that you'll find peppered throughout the comics. Like, you got, obviously, Doom, which is, we all know Dr. Doom. And then the next episode would be Green Goblin, Abomination. Yeah, and...
Emil Blonsky.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we also meet a new villain named, what's her name?
Sister Sorrow.
Sister Sorrow. Sister Sorrow. How do you like how it started?
I like the big intro. Obviously, you got Dr. Doom. The first splash page is him sitting in his throne in Latveria, and he has like one of his spies, and he makes a point that it's like his like lowly spy. It's like one of it, and he's like very pathetic, and he's like, oh, this guy is like, he's coming. He's like such a nuisance. He's like, oh my god. And he makes a point to state that like this guy is like a bottom of the barrel, bottom feeder. Like spy, and he's like, oh, what do you want? Fine, just you're my subject. And he comes over and talks to him, and then he's like telling him like, I have this information about this lady. She's causing a bunch of chaos, and she's trying to collect these daggers. And Doom's like, listen, bro, you're bugging me. What do you want? Like, she has no of concern of me. And then the spy is like, well, it's the soul dagger,
or is it a soul forge?
No, the soul dagger feeds the soul forge.
Okay.
Right? So you have the soul dagger, which has been forged by the I think six different entities. So you got
from Doctor Strange.
Kamar-Taj?
Yes.
So from Kamar-Taj.
Yeah.
You got the Order of Khonshu.
Yes.
Who's the Order of Khonshu from?
Khonshu is Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, yep. You got a witch from Wakanda. You got an Enchantress. From Latveria, Enchantress from Latveria, who is from Doom.
Comic book.
And you got a sorcerer or some kind of witchy do from Atlantis, and you got this mystery guy, Lucifer, which no one really knows who he is or what's he about. And then later on, you will get to that part. What happened? So those six people wind up working together in unison to do all these dark magic, dark spells and everything to create the Soul Forge, which is basically like the size of this comic book, like a little lantern. It's like I was expecting this big thing, but it's like it's literally like a desk lamp. It's like a desk lamp.
Packs a big punch, though.
Packs a big punch, right?
Jeez,
Don't worry about size, right?
But look at the Infinity Stones.
Exactly. Those little guys cause so much trouble, right? So you got him talking about the sister Sorrow, and so finally Doom's like, all right, you got my attention, and then he goes and tries to hunt down, follow up with Sister Sorrow, and then we get Abomination, right?
Well, yeah.
Emil Blonsky, who hands off the dagger.
Blonsky.
Emil Blonsky, right? Off to and he's like he's wearing a trench coat. He's in full Abomination.
And Scully hat.
And he's like a little hat on. He's like, nothing to see here.
No one's gonna notice me. I'm just a big Shrek looking demon,
right? With big like fin ears. Like, nothing to see here. Keep it moving along, guys.
Right.
Keep moving along. So you get that interaction with Emil Blonsky and Abomination with Sorrow, and then you have this little monologue or narration with Doom, and he's in the background. He's like, "Oh, I use a cloaking spell so no
Yeah.
one can see me." He's like, "Listen, good thing Abomination didn't see me. I'd fold him like a folding chair, like a table."
Yeah, right. But Sister Sorrow.
Yep.
Sister Sorrow did notice he was there, even though he was in a cloaking spell. So,
Did you think that? Because I feel like he dropped it once he left. Like once
No,
Abomination left.
I kind of picked up, like, because she called him out while he was there, but he was still invisible, eavesdropping.
Gotcha.
And she turns to him and starts talking to him, and then that's when he reappeared.
No.
So, we know that Doctor Doom, he doesn't have a true superpower except for being a master of the mystic arts. That's one of his superpowers, and that he's a very smart person.
Yes.
Outside of that, but what I don't understand is how Doctor Doom is so strong. It's like we can come across any villain in the MCU, and for whatever reason, it's written for Doctor Doom to be stronger than that opposing person. When it comes with Sister Sorrow, I feel as though Sister Sorrow kind of took him back and shocked him. It was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe she was able to see me through my own enchanted spell that I put on myself. So, do you think Sister Sorrow is stronger than Doom, or could compete with Doom, or just she's also a master at the mystic arts?
Well, he makes it a good point when they're fighting. When she actually winds up transforming, right? In the comic book, she gets like this magic wand stick thing,
Yeah.
whatever, and they start fighting, and they make it a point that like, oh, she's actually putting up a fight,
Yeah,
and then
right?
she's like, oh, he's actually can fight. Like so they both
Yeah.
at a lock neck, the cornerstone of saying like, hey, neither one of us are going to break as far as who's going to win over this fight. So they're both going back and forth, and there's a whole monologue, and then with Doom talking about what the Forge is, what the Soul Forge is, where did it come from, who fueled it, how does it work. But we don't really get an idea what it actually does. They only say it's meant to change life across.
What it does is it can harness every soul on planet Earth. And that's what I'll let you name drop the big bad.
Oh yeah.
But that's what the big bad that we find out at the end of this book is trying to do. He's trying to get the what is
Soul
it?
Forge?
The Soul Forge, because he's trying to take every soul from the planet. And the more souls he has, the stronger he becomes. And for you guys out there, I don't even think I need to really say it, but we all know who would do something like that.
Put it down in the comments before we mention this if you know who
Yeah,
we're talking
right?
about.
So who is it? Who is it?
Mephisto.
Mephisto. So Mephisto's known for taking people to hell. And
He's not really the devil.
he's not the devil, but he will help out superheroes to either become stronger or to bring back or undo things. But by doing that, you're basically trading your soul. When you die, he owns you.
Yep. Well, Doom has relations with Mephisto because his mother had a contract with Mephisto. That's why she was actually a sorceress or whatever.
Yeah.
So she had a lot of
Yeah,
powers
right.
from Mephisto, and he owned her soul, and then so he actually went down to hell to bargain for it and then try to save his mother's soul from Mephisto. So Doom has a very long standing history of Mephisto, and he's like, I'm coming for you.
Well, outside of that, like, we kind of just blasted through that
book.
It was the first issue is a short read. It has a lot of information, but it's a rushed comic book. That's one of the things I have to say about it personally. I felt rushed as I was reading it, probably because there was a lot to take in, and it was a lot of information to take in. But it was character after character after character.
I think why it went by so fast was because there was a lot of splash pages. There's a bunch of big splash pages, so take up a lot of real estate. So when you do that, the story seems to go a little faster because you're seeing like a dialogue box or narration of the what's going on. So it's a lot of boom, 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 really quick, and then you're going through page after page after page.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, you're like, oh, it's done.
Yeah, basically.
Right? I'm like,
basically. I personally think what's going to sell this comic is not so much the story. It is only a 7-part series, so it's a very limited series. I think the cover art, which the two big artists that's on every cover of the 7 issues
Okay.
is going to be Lee Bermejo, and as you guys can see, Kevin Eastman. I was trying to bring the Lee Bermejo in as well, but I think someone bought my last issue. I'm a big fan of that thick outline, kind of scrappy.
It has like that gritty old school,
Yeah.
like
1990s
80s,
art.
late 90s, late
Truck
80s.
comic books,
Yes.
you know? Outside of the cover art, honestly, the fact that it's Doctor Doom, it's Green Goblin, it's Mephisto, it's Abomination. We're getting all these awesome characters. I feel as though that's another thing that's going to draw people into buying this comic book.
And the big thing is you're going to have Doom coming in for the MCU. So I think they're going to be pushing a lot of Doom.
Yeah,
Marvel's
tell me
going to be
about
pushing
it.
a lot of Doom as of the next year because you have RDJ coming as Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
He may or may not be the actual mainline Doctor Doom. We're not sure about that right now. But as of right now, we have him coming in back as Doctor Doom. So I think we're going to be getting a lot of Doctor Doom material, Doctor Doom merchandise, and Doctor Doom cosplay. All right, so what do you give this book?
I'm going to give this book out of what? 5?
Oh my goodness.
5?
Yes, 5.
I'm going to give this book, honestly, I'll give it a 2.
A 2?
I'll give it a 2, mainly because the story was it packed in a lot of information, but I don't feel as though the comic book is going to keep. It's going to lose steam.
Sure.
I think it's going to lose steam. I like the fact that every issue we're going to get a different bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like issue 2 is going to be Goblin. They look amazing, and that's what's going to draw me to the comic book. But the interiors are basic. Once you hit that last caption, you're to the next page, So it's not like I'm really soaking this comic book in.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Outside of that, so like I said, a 2.
2. All right. That's a good wrap for this book of Doom. Bring on the bad guys. Let us know, guys, if you read this book. What do you give it? A 1, 2, 3, 4, or a 5?
What do you give it?
Does
it matter?
Give it a 3.
3?
Yeah, I was debating.
3.
I was like 3, 3.5, but I was like, let me go with a 3.
I think comic book fans that are really into Doctor Strange, they're gonna have a blast reading this comic book. Like you said, it's a comic book of the Mystic Arts. It's a mature spoken comic book.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of gags, not a lot of one-liners. That doesn't make it not a fun comic book. It's more of a serious, to the point, mature comic book.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
that's all good.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be, fighting and
No.
pow and whatever and big splashes. But it was good. It got to the point, really pretty quickly. Again, it was quick. It was a quick book. We got to know who the big bad is pretty much off of issue 1. We didn't have to wait till like 3 issues in and be like, oh, who's the bad guy?
Yeah, right.
So they let you know really quick who the bad guy is, what we're going to be dealing with, and what we're going to be going into the next few issues.
Yeah, man.
Well, that being said, guys, make sure you guys give us a like, follow down below. Hopefully you are entertained with our feedback and our point of view of Doom. Bring on the bad guys. Again, I'm Chris.
And I'm Rico.
And we are
Popping Through Culture.
We'll see you guys next time, guys.
Doom ain't got no time for this, that could just sound too ominous. I run up with a cloak, they can't see me, so I just vibe a bit. Sister sorrow, about to be sorry for not obliging with any order I speak. Don't try me when I'm on top of this.
How would Doom sound? We never had a good
Like
representation.
Professor Skull. Oh, teach you gadgets.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it Professor Skull? No,
Of course it is.
no, it's not.
Who is it then?
What is it?
Captain Skull?
It's not Captain
Mr.
Skull. Scar?
No.
No.
Wrong.
What is it?
Scar?
No.
I killed your father.
Different Scar. This episode, we're going to be talking about Doom. Enter the bosses.
This is
Right?
Doom, bring on the bad guys.
Bring on the bad guys.
Issue Uno.
Issue uno. Let's roll the credits.
I thought the credits were already rolled.
No, let's roll the intro.
Pop, 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 popping through culture.
Oh boy.
Pop, 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 pop. Would you like it like popping through culture, popping through culture?
Why are you
pop, pop. You know?
Why are you being weird?
I don't know. Or popping through culture.